This scene is the scene where they decide that they probably have a space problem, and then you're going to see the first house. So in the dailies, I'm looking for, oh, this is wonderful. Even the wallpaper is nice. Look at this cute little thing under here. Never has heard a discouraging word in my selects for this house, because I want this house to be perfect. This is the dream that they find out in the kitchen they maybe can't have because of the money.
I don't want to start out that way. If we can't really afford it.
Would you be willing?
But that's up to you to make sure we can. You start working on it right now.
Would you be willing to go to work for this place?
For a while.
For a while, huh?
Yeah, till we got on our feet. Not for 20 or 30 years, however long it takes to pay it off. No, it's not worth that much at all.
That's my principle of exclusion. I don't want any discouraging words about this house until I hit the kitchen and have the money discussion. And that's what I reach for in that scene. So just like I want the first house to be perfect, I want that house to be really bad. So like I'm putting dogs barking on the track and racing engines, and every stained thing and every low-rent house they looked at goes into that sequence. You know, and his whole position is, this isn't so bad, and she has no position. She just walks mute through the scene. She's like shell-shocked. You know, it's like, you gotta be kidding. And I'm trying to like underline and boldface those things out of the dailies. I take them because I'm trying to say, this is really far apart, and how are we gonna find a common ground here? And what's it gonna lead to, this newly discovered separation? I want this, and I'd never want to sublet while I was living here, okay? And he goes, well, the fact is, you might have to, because we can't afford this.
We haven't figured anything in here. There's no doctor bills. There's no eyeglasses. There's no Band-Aids. There's no flower boxes. There's no going out to the movies for the weekend. You know, these are necessities that could be termed necessities. These are things that we have to pay every month.
So, you're saying then stay here?
That one shot near the end where Groom is not saying anything, he's just looking, and then he puts his eyes down and sighs. And I can make that be my answer to her question. You know, I don't know what he actually said in the dailies, I forget, it's been too long. She goes, so in other words, you're saying we should stay here. And, you know, he probably danced around it and said, well, his answer was, yeah, that's what I'm saying, because I watched all of the material. But in the moment, I don't know what he actually said. He probably said, well, you know, maybe for a little while, or he probably hedged his bets and tried to dance around. What his real answer was looking, put his head down, yeah, that's my answer. But because the camera is shooting those kinds of moments, they're available for me to use emotionally and rhythmically in order to make the thing concise and hopefully, you know, a little eloquent in its, you know, speaking, non-speaking dancing.
I don't know how we're going to live here. I mean, you talk about being realistic. How are we going to squeeze you in here?
Come a long way from $55,000 homes, haven't we?